Okay, guys, so we're going to move into another aspect of Congee as a Christian, as a single, unmarried Christian. We're going to move into boundaries. So how important do you find boundaries when you're in a relationship? So boundaries with the opposite sex, that is.
Very important.
Okay, I love that you just went straight.
Yeah, let me take BFFs of the opposite sex.
So as in best friends forever.
Best friends forever. Yeah, sorry.
Like I'm your only best friend forever, as far as I'm concerned.
I feel like going into a relationship, you having a best friend of the opposite sex is fine, but once you get to the relationship, like your best friend needs to know that, okay, this person I'm seeing, this is number one priority in my life. And I feel like a lot of best friends know what they are doing. Because or let's say I'm married, like I don't want my wife to have an assistant husband, quote unquote, right? Because I saw a tweet of this woman who was complaining about how her best friend got married and how she doesn't have female friends and she doesn't really spend that much time with her best friend. And it got so bad that her best friend's wife started calling her assistant wife. And I'm like, if you know your best friend is getting married, like at least common sense. Like, tone it down. Like, don't be complaining that, oh, he doesn't see me this much. He doesn't call me this much. Like, it's boundary.
But do you think that it's the onus is on your actual spouse to make sure that line is drawn? Because you can't say, oh, the best friend, because obviously the best friend is losing somebody in the sense of the word. So actually, like, isn't the onus more on the person you're with? Also, the same way we're saying, you know, when we're speaking about Congee, like, the transformation doesn't just happen. The transition doesn't just happen when you go from single to married. If you're still best friends up until I've said yes to the person I'm with, obviously it's not going to happen like that. So isn't that an onus?
Well, in the dating period though, like what kind of things are you still doing? Because if that was a best friend and that is talking to your man at night,
late at night,
you know, he's sharing things without, even as I'm dating you, like I'll be making it clear that this is not on, but in a way that makes sense, because you're not going to be jealous. You're not going to be, I'll give an example. This happened to my friend actually. She was at a party with her boyfriend, and one of his friends, female friends, kept sitting next to this guy. And there's history because she had been showing signs of just, not that she likes him, actually who knows, but just signs of that I was here before you. And I think as girls, that can be a thing, like, you know, disregarding my friend, but like sitting down and bantering with him throughout. She kept saying, my friend literally went up to her and was like, sorry, this is my seat. And then she was like, I was like, no, it's just my seat. Like, you know, anywhere that is next to him is my seat. Yeah. And then
hashtag my man, my seat.
Man, my seat. And he couldn't say anything because he should have been the one to prevent it from getting to that point. But she, you know, he was then a bit pissed off, like, oh, why did she do that? But I think he was stupid for not.
Wait, but hold on. Why was he pissed off?
Wait, hold on. But, when you say he was stupid for not, preventing from getting there. So let's say both areas are free. If friend, now hold on, both areas are free. If friend, your girlfriend is not there, she's gone to the bathroom, whatever. You know. If friend comes and sits down, would you actually be like, no, it's for my girlfriend sitting here. Yes. She now stands and goes to the other side. No, she's sitting here too.
No, when your girlfriend comes back,
what's happening is that
what's happening is that there's no. Okay, let's say that there was. Let's say that there's only one side.
Then that doesn't make sense. Then of course that is for where she was going to sit. That's where she sits. But the way it sounds,
that's just a different story. I know, like there are others. Let's say a birthday, for example. Maybe the boyfriend is taking his girlfriend out to dinner, and the best friend is upset because, quote unquote, she's known the guy longer. She knows what he likes. She knows his favorite color. She knows his favorite cologne. She knows which football team. And I feel like it's the responsibility of the person you're dating to like let the best friend know that, look,
who do you think is better at doing it, girls or guys?
I feel like guys are more oblivious. Like guys can't clock.
Thank you. Guys can't clock Delilahs and Jezebels.
It's from experience. This is from experience. I mean,
It's from experience, my brother.
Not to me, like some friends, I'd be like, yo, this babe, watch out. And like my friend would be like, nah, we're just friends. And I'm like, fam, this babe, if there's an opening, this babe is going to pounce. And I think that what happens is that they wait for when you're in a relationship. You know,
I was about to address that.
That thing of when you're attractive in a relationship. I don't know
psychological, like
it's psychological.
I think we just put it in our minds. Does it actually happen that you just seem more attractive?
People want what they can't have.
Okay.
People want what they can't
It's
have.
just so many things. It's so many things. It's like I've literally known this guy for ages. Now he's looking so fresh next to this girl. He's like, you know, she's touched him up a bit. Like, you know, there's somebody that we've grown up with, secondary school, you've been best friend. He's suddenly looking like the guy because maybe he has a babe now, and he too, like everything is, he's looking good.
The attention he's showing her, he's shifting from you to somebody else. So you now have to take the back seat. But that's life.
Flip it the other way around. Guys, like instead of happening to a girl, what about when it happens to guys? Do guys feel, do you guys feel like if you had a best friend and, you know, she started going out with this guy, do you feel any way?
I have a male best friend, actually. The one
Is this the same best friend
Is
that
that-
you're
is that
accountable
one?
to?
is that one.
You need to explain to us.
I'm willing to explain.
Okay.
Now, I wouldn't say follow my way. This is what will work for you, but I'm only saying what works for me. Now, this person is one that I've known for a very long time, and he's like a junior brother to me. And we have been close.
That's how, okay. Let me come in. Would you date somebody that's younger than you?
Absolutely not.
Okay, that's
But
okay. Fair
obviously, I can get he who says his stance should know. Let me not say I would never.
Age is just a
My
number.
preference is no, but let me not say never. My preference is no. But anyway, the point I'm making is that I've known him for a very long time, but then again, there are boundaries. That's the thing. And I wouldn't advise it for somebody else to be accountable to the member of the opposite sex. If you should know yourself at all times. To your own self be true. If you know that this person, I'm attracted to you, so this accountability thing will not work. But I know myself and he knows himself. If at any point there's some kind of feeling starts, hasta la vista, it's, you know, but I know myself.
Do you think you would say if feelings start? Would you tell him if like you start developing feelings?
That's how close we are and transparent I am, in the sense that not that we are not friends anymore, but thank you, but let me try this with.
Would you tell him why?
Of course.
Because I'm getting feelings for you.
Friends, because we are totally honest with each other.
I think you just let you go. Like, wow, this.
No, we are still friends, but what I'm saying is that I cannot be coming to you when I'm feeling congee. Because
I don't think it's gonna work.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I just feel like this, I've always said it, like best friend between a man and a woman, one of the parties or both of the parties at some point is going to start having feelings, is going to start feeling hurt at some point. If you are best friends in that way of, as in the way you're describing, walls totally down, vulnerability, you're emotionally connecting, one day he will just look fine to you somehow. Like it might not be you, but something, it cannot just be completely platonic.
unless then you want to be prophetic, but at this moment, not to be honest, if you're going ahead, that's fine. But I can only speak of what I know and what I've witnessed,
And what he's told you.
and what he's told me. I'm not in his fan,
But at the same time,
but so far, but this, I'm telling you my experience. This has been my experience. If something changes, I'll come back and say update. But for now, nothing like that has happened.
Okay.
But obviously, that's where boundary comes in, and transparency and maturity is actually important.
Okay. I wanted to pick up on something. You know how sometimes you might be someone who doesn't find, it's not physical attraction that gets you to like somebody. Yeah. It's the emotional connection, the spiritual connection. If you're best friends, you're already connecting on that wave. If you're somebody that's looking for that in your spouse, your future spouse, don't you feel like if you're already connecting with him, he's your best friend, he gets you at that level, isn't there like an atmosphere for things to like start growing?
That's what I'm saying. My experience so far, it has not grown. It has refused to grow.
From your perspective.
From my perspective, and from his perspective as well. Because from what I know,
You can only speak about your own
that's what I'm
perspective.
saying. From what I know, it has never been, because we've dated different people. I've connected him to people. He's dated people from my recommendation. So I can only speak of my perspective.
Because people always say things like, "Oh, he can't like me because literally we talk about me and the person I'm seeing, and he even introduced me."
When deep down he's crying inside.
Doesn't really matter.
If you even read Bella Niger, half the stories are, I was trying to set him up with her, she was trying to set me up, and then we now realize one day that
It just takes realizing. It might not have been there all along, but
these things happen. But like, I'll keep on bringing it back to my experience.
Yeah.
I can only witness of what I've seen.
But like, given what you've just said, sorry to cut you off, but given what you've just said, I think what I find hard to sort of follow through in my thought is that this is someone that you're really close to, is your best friend, and you've known them for a really long time. You understand each other really well. Like you said, you're vulnerable with each other. You can talk about anything. He's even your accountability partner. Like, he's a big part of your life, right? And let's say, potentially, that one day either of you develops feelings for the other. You said from your side, you would have to then take a step back and be like, okay, we can't really do this, right?
I meant it in the point of being accountable to each other, sexual urge-wise, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I'm saying, so if we are accountability partners, and you said, well, anytime I feel this way, I will tell you. If I'm now starting to have feelings for you, you can now not be my account. That's what I'm saying. I would
see what
step
you
back
mean.
and say, Sister Catherine, down the road with me.
Sister Catherine is as if she's waiting for you.
but what were you gonna ask?
I guess what I was going to say was like, how easy do you think it would be for you to let go of this person who's such a big part of your life? Because, as like, for example, as a Christian woman, you don't want to cross boundaries that you know you should have up. Like, how easy do you think it really is to let go of this person? It's not easy.
The context I meant it, like I said, is about accountability. Are you saying that would I say let's not be friends anymore because I have feelings? I want to understand where you're coming from.
I guess not necessarily that you don't want to be friends anymore, because you said that you would still be friends with this person.
Yeah.
But realistically, you're used to having a certain type of relationship with this person. You're used to being their best friend. It's very difficult to change status
So you're
in that
asking
way.
if I
Like,
grow
just
feelings for the person, what will I do is what you're asking. I want to understand.
If it happens either way, so if he starts having feelings of you start having feelings, how easy practically is it going to be to just distant, like, you know, cut
Are we both single at that point? What is that? What's the context? We are both single. I think we would talk about it. If feelings grow and he feel, you know, I don't know. If that happens, they will know what to do from there. But you know, I cannot speak of what has not happened. Because I cannot speak of what, you know, I can't say with authority, this is what I would do. I don't know.
yeah.
So I was going to say about accountability, and not accountability, vulnerability. Now, when you're in a relationship, one of the things that I discourage, and I say this also speaking to myself. One of the things that I would discourage is for your either partner to be vulnerable with someone of the opposite sex.
Things you discourage or you encourage?
I discourage. I discourage for either partners to be vulnerable with someone of the opposite sex. I discourage it.
So that means at that point, you're probably not, you know, either party, whoever is feeling vulnerable to another opposite sex, is not emotionally at that level that you are. So why date, right? Is that? I don't know.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
So you're saying basically that, you know, the opposite sex, or you know, if your girlfriend, for example, is vulnerable to some other guy, right? But that means technically, why are you guys dating, right? If
She should be vulnerable to you.
Well, that you're just supporting his point.
Emotionally,
You're basically supporting his point that why should you be able to be vulnerable to somebody else? That leaves a question mark.
Not even that. I mean, you know, more of, well, if you're vulnerable to that person, right? Then why are you dating her, or why is she dating you?
Yeah, so like if you and your significant other are not emotionally compatible, and you're emotionally compatible with somebody else, hence why you're vulnerable with the other person.
Exactly.
Why are you dating
Well, you know, that's the question, really. Like, it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. So, but it happens, right? It happens. So, like, there are situations where, let's say, you know, your partner has been, you know, goes to school with or works with, you know, with a particular person of the opposite sex, and, you know, sees this person every day. Maybe they're in the same classroom, you know, whatever, same workspace, and they just out of every group of people, there'll be one or two people you gel with the most, right? You know, it just happens to be that you just click with this person, and the person, you know, you see the person every day. You guys, you know, probably go for lunch, you know, casual work-related lunch or whatever. You know, helps you out with your stuff. You help the person out. You know, just on a humanitarian level. Just on the humanitarian level, right? So I think, and so, you know, you never know when things are going on, you know, you open up to the person and, you know, this type of thing. And sometimes it just happens by virtue of the person just being there at that point in time.
What
happened?
Hypothetically speaking, if it were to happen to you, let's say you had a female best friend or your girlfriend had a male best friend, how would you go about it? Let's say you notice that they're getting too close. Like they're spending late hours together, they're on the phone for hours, or you are on the phone with your female best friend for hours, or you're spending too much quality time. Like, how would you kind of rectify that? Yeah.
I'm just going to add to that question I love that you mentioned quality time. I'm just going to bring in love languages. If quality time is either of your love languages, how do you then do
First
that?
thing to do.
Hallelujah, Holy Spirit. Okay.
I joke about this a lot. I always tell most of my female friends that if I'd get into a relationship, that everyone is on a first name basis. First name. No, I mean like I say so because on Twitter everyone is so friendly. Hey hon, happy birthday hon. Hey babes. Like once I get to a relationship,
like
your government name,
Your
your full government name. I mean, like I know some people who say people's names with emojis and hearts. Your government name, all those calling on the phone for. I mean, I have female friends that I've FaceTime for hours, like 3 hours. When they start seeing someone, I don't message you unless it's maybe happy birthday or.
Going from 3 hours to happy birthday, that's a bit.
No, like boundaries. No, like I say that because I wouldn't want it happening to me.
Okay.
Yeah, so your respect
Yeah.
is a thing of respect for the other guy.
Okay, exactly. Like, so when, like, in these 3 hour conversations, like, are you being really, really vulnerable with that female friend?
Oh no, I mean like we talk about different things. It can be from music to sports to uni to what's happening on social media, what's happening on Twitter.
But are you vulnerable with them? There's a difference.
Might not be actually that's why you can cut it.
I'm not a very.
You're not
like,
vulnerable with them, right?
Nah, I don't like being vulnerable with people. I mean, except your family.
Yeah.
Except your family.
To you, what do you think it means to be vulnerable to a woman, or like you, or like what does it mean? For
I think
a
we
woman
can
to be
tie that
vulnerable
because
to a
that's one of
man?
our other topics. So let's not go into that for now. If that's okay.
Sure.
I think you asked me a question.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're going back to the question, like if your girlfriend's spending, you know, unlimited amount of time with, you know, her best friend, or you are doing, you know, vice versa, and quality time is one of your love languages, either of you or both of you, how do you then deal with that?
Okay, for me, the way, and actually it has happened. Yeah, it has happened. It has happened. And from experience, I'll tell you how, you know, the way I deal with it. You know, for me, I believe one of my I don't know what the word is, my core values in relationship is transparency. You know, even in friendship, to an extent, I love transparency. You know, I love talking with people who are very real. They tell you as it is. You know, we're talking about conjugal every time. You know, I have friends who will tell you like, you know, that they struggled with conjugal yesterday. That this one chewed eyes. Or this one. No, people who are real like that, they tell you stuff like that, and I really value things like that, right? So even in my relationship, I try to encourage or foster that transparency in there. So when my girlfriend was spending time with other people that, you know, I felt like, okay, it's a bit too much. I told her, I was like, babe, I think you are, you know, the time you're spending with this person, I think you should probably just have you thought about just limiting it a bit? You know, you have to be quite skillful with some of these things. You know, it's not coming from a place of insecurity. It's just coming from a place of preemptive. You know, you don't want, you know, when the whole, you know, you don't want to. They say prevention is better than cure. You know, it's not coming from a place. It's coming from a place of, I think you're probably spending too much time with this person, and you know, probably the level or the depth of you guys' conversation, you know, it's probably a bit much. You know, probably have you thought about taking a step back a bit, that type of thing. So I would discuss it, and she would then come and tell me, oh, I know it's nothing, or that etc. You know, I'd be like, okay, I know to you it's nothing, yeah, but you can't only speak for the other person. You know, so just to avoid story entering inside the matter somehow, you know, let us just, I think it's wiser to just begin to create such boundaries. And for myself, because you know, it also happened, you know, in her defense, also happened to me as well. And what's interesting with me is my own love language is quality time, or one of them anyway. You know.
No, I was gonna say that. Like, how does that tie in? Like, how do you feel?
My love language is quality time. So the thing is, if I ever give a female friend quality time, just know that female friend is at a different level from other female friends. Not in terms of, you know, it could also be relationship wise, but it could be in terms of, okay, this, I really value this person, right? So what I do is, I tell her that what I do is when she's not there, she's unavailable, let's say she's traveled and we don't get to speak for the whole day, I like to, you know, relate to people, talk with people, you know. I always have someone I'm talking with, not always, but you know. So the thing is, so the thing, what I do is I tell her that, right, I bite my tongue and I choose not to talk with anyone else. Not because I don't want to, but it's because I'm creating a void which creates a desire to speak with her only.
Hey, Professor.
You know, so and it's only because quality time is my one of my strong love languages. Yeah. So when we don't get to talk for an extended period of time, you know, I could probably come off a bit moody, and you know, she's wondering why you moody. I haven't spoken with you all day. Like, I couldn't, if let's say, if let's say she doesn't like that, yeah. If let's say someone like, oh, let's say she gets angry, like, oh, you know, why you always like this? I could not be moody. I could talk with someone else. Not a problem. She gets, but I'm just trying to prevent that.